Oluseyi Olaleye is a security professional holding a master's degree with distinction and first-class honors in computer science. He has extensive experience in infrastructure security operations, risk assessment, security investigations, vulnerability assessment, and penetration testing. He has a strong research background and has multiple publications in reputable cybersecurity journals. Oluseyi holds various industry recognized certifications and is an active member of ISC Square, CompTIA, and EC Council. I know a lot of us would be looking forward to writing some of these exams and having all of this. So please, with a warm welcome, electronic welcome, virtual welcome, please let's give a warm round of applause as we welcome Oluseyi Olaleye.
All right, good evening, Naomi. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening. Welcome.
Yes, thank you for having me. So today we will be having a discussion around social engineering. And let me share my slide shortly. All right, once again, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with us this evening and privileged to be among great minds. And I'm hoping that the couple of minutes that we have together will have a great time and we'll be more cyber aware at the end of the session. So today we are discussing a very important topic in cybersecurity, which is the subject of social engineering. So it's actually a great concern in cybersecurity. Today, technology has witnessed quite a lot of changes and developments, and softwares are not what we used to know. Today, we have great softwares, and security too, cybersecurity too has really advanced, gone from various stages. And but then there is here an aspect that still needs the human effort. Like people will say, no matter how strong your defense is, or no matter how great what you have built, be it the next unicorn or the next, the next great software out there, there's still people who use them. So in cybersecurity, we have a kind of saying that says even the stronger defenses can crumble when trust is exploited. So, and that is the subject of what we are discussing today, social engineering, like the human part of the cybersecurity, because it is the human that drive the system. It is the human that, at the end of the day, make use of the system. And in cybersecurity, we also know that it's easy to hack a human than to hack a system. And the reason is that people already have access. So why should you trouble yourself trying to hack the system when you can just hack the human and then get access to the system? So social engineering is more about the human hacking. So you're trying to manipulate individuals into revealing confidential information and maybe performing actions that may, compromise security. So one of the key things that attackers exploit in social engineering, this aspect of hacking, is they exploit human psychology rather than technological vulnerabilities. So like I said earlier, today, in today's world, you have technological vulnerabilities and people can patch technological vulnerabilities like, okay, Microsoft, Google, various softwares that we use today, send patches maybe monthly or quarterly, or maybe when there's any vulnerability out there, they send a patch, they roll a patch out, and then consumers, deploy the patch and they apply the patch, and they are good to go. But you can patch technological vulnerabilities, you can't patch human ignorance. So, which is the reason for this kind of training, because it is the people that drive the system, it is people that use the software. Also, security isn't just about the systems alone, it's about the people who use them. So what do these people exploit in systems? So first, cyber criminals know the human psyche, they understand the human psychology. And what they tend to exploit actually is the trust in human. Like human being, we have the tendency to trust. I mean, generally we have the natural ability to trust people. Like, and almost everything we do today, whether going to work I mean, you go to work because you believe that at the end of the month they will give you your pay. So you are using what you are using. I mean, there's an element of trust in what we do. So, and this is what the attackers leverage on, knowing that, okay, if human being naturally we can trust. So they try to, they understand the human psyche and they are expert in tapping into human emotions. So, and then today we see that it's quite difficult to detect a scam because, sometimes you can even mistaking a legitimate request for information, which you call the false positive cybersecurity. And then there are many techniques, there are many ways that attackers can combine, using these things, and at the end of the day, get to exploit the human. So, in the course of this uh, awareness session, we're going to be having practical sessions. I'm going to be showing us one or two things and how we can um, take control and do quite a number of things. So we have social engineering statistics here. 4 out of 5 cyber crimes committed involve social engineering, according to the Internet Crime Complaint Center. That's the IC3. So we see that 4 out of 5 cyber crimes. I'm sure we have heard cases of, people maybe you go to bank and then somebody will tell you, we say the complaint to the bank that, oh, somebody called me, they said they are from GT Bank, or somebody called me, they said they are from Access Bank, or maybe somebody's calling you that say, oh, you have won a lottery, or maybe, all these kind of juicy offers that people get today. So at the end of the day, we see some of these things, and many of all these things are not even reported. So we see that 4 out of 5 cyber crimes committed involve social engineering to tell us the areas we need to pay attention to. So it's not really more about the systems alone, it's also more about the people, which is you and I. So what are some psychological principles that the attackers exploit? Number one, we see that there's this sense of authority, or maybe they ask you to do something. Oh, it's very urgent now. If not, your account will be blocked. They create this sense of urgency into people, and then they tell you that, oh, you know what, your account is about to be blocked, or maybe we're about to do this now. And then you need to act now. And then sometimes attackers can go further by establishing a social proof. First, they send a connection to you on LinkedIn or try to establish a relationship with you. Or it could be a form of reciprocity, like, oh, you know what? We appreciate you for engaging, or maybe for participating in an event. Maybe they found out that, oh, you participated in an event recently, and then so they are trying to leverage on that information. Or maybe because some people, they post everything online, and then they see that, oh, I just attended this, I just attended that, and then another guy just see something to exploit there, and then they just craft a message and then send it to you as an email that, oh, we're privileged to have you in our previous session. So we're doing giveaways for our people. So I'm just saying these are some of the psychological principles that these attackers use, to exploit people. And then lastly, yeah, you see the trust element. So pick my pen. So lastly, here we see the trust element, which is like it sits on top of all the psychological principles, because at the end of the day, you give out your information, or you talk to people, or we do the things we do based on trust. So, and attackers can combine some of these tactics, maybe authority and trust, authority and reciprocity. Just, they can go any length to ensure that they get what they want to get. So I have a recent case study here, and this case study actually came. There was one of my, a junior colleague that came to me, and then he said, "Oh, Mr. Sheya, I was they hacked into my accounts, and they, could ask something." I said, "Okay, what did you do?" He said they hacked into your account. What did you do? And he said that he sent um like he posted on Twitter. So the way it's popular now that they said, okay, if you want your banks to respond to you very fast, go online and call them out. So he said he called them out on Twitter. And then all of these agents started messaging him, started sending him DMs that, oh, we are very sorry, so. And so before you know it, so this was the first kind of, like, this first one was the first, message he got from one of those agents. You can see here, he's showing CUDA help agent. This is not actually from CUDA. This is not CUDA representatives. Actually, somebody who has created a parody account for CUDA, and is using it to mislead the public. So the guy got this message because he had called them out online. Oh, CUDA refund my money. CUDA do this. CUDA do that. So proceeding to the next stage, which is the second case. You see they kind of a message that they've crafted that, oh, welcome to Kuda, Nigeria, what do you need help with? So they're saying, so the guy also responded and selected five, which is report failed transaction. And then after doing that, it actually took him to the website that the attacker has created, which is this t.ly, something like kuda.site. But it's actually not Kuda. So when the guy went to the website, he saw that it looked just exactly like Kuda's website, Kuda's web page, and then he began to interact on the website. He supplied his information, and that was how it was. It got compromised. His account got compromised, and he had to. There was a lot of battle and a loss of money. So this is just a recent. This one happened like last week. It's still, so these attackers are out there with different tactics, and you know, uh, this is one of the reasons why we are having this kind of, for everybody to be aware that cybersecurity is actually a thing now. So what is the impact of this on people? So we have the impact of social engineering. Number one, the mind factor. The mind factor. You can imagine that person that has lost his money, or that person that his account has been compromised. The emotional trauma that they go through during that period. Also, identity theft, financial fraud, and many other, many likes what you know these people, what the impact could be on people, and also on organizations. We see it could go as far as financial loss and the like. So let's talk about the tactics shortly. What are the tactics? How do these attackers do these things? How do they try to maneuver people to give out this information? We've seen a recent case study about the Kuda help agent. So the first one sitting on my list here is phishing, which is actually the most common form of social engineering. So um, we see here that the attackers, uh, it involves sending fraudulent emails to people or fraudulent messages to people, and then trying to making them to provide sensitive information. So, sorry, need to close this. All right, so you see, every day we receive emails created from different set of people with the intention to scam us. Well, by the time we do a practical session, we will see how some of these things work. And then one important thing is that it is increasingly difficult to detect phishing emails nowadays, because in the olden days or in the years gone by, you will hear they will tell you that, oh, you look out for the grammatical errors, you look out for this. But today, with the advent of AI and all of these sophisticated tools that we have today, I mean, it's getting increasingly difficult to detect a phishing email. So we need to go the extra mile. We need to look beyond, the norms, because these attackers also, they are going beyond the norms. So, and then lastly, if you do not follow the rules of cyber hygiene, you can easily fall. Even myself, as a security personnel, I get a lot of these things, something's related to my work. Maybe they can say, oh, it's from CBN, this is from CBN, this is from, I mean, I quite receive some of these things. So if we do not follow the rules of cyber hygiene, we can easily fall. So when we receive an email, there are some things you must check. There are some questions you must ask. So number one, you look, okay, what is the sender's address? Where is this really coming from? Who is really writing to me? Who is the person writing to me? Do I know the person? Just like somebody calling your name from another door, and oh, you can hear the person calling your name, but you don't know it, and the person is telling you that you should open your door. So you need to be aware who the person is before you open your door to such a person. So the next question you ask is the sender email address logical? Is it correct? Is it coherent? Like, can GT Bank be sending email using a Gmail domain? Or UBA sending email with Outlook, or maybe somebody has created, now this is kind of a top level domain. Yeah. So these are some of the things we need to look out for when we see these things. Then so let's examine this email together. So we see yeah, I just got this email now from technical support, Google technical support, and then look at what it's reading. So you need to first verify the sender's email address. Like I said, you look at this, is it correct? Is it logical, and is it coherent? So this is coming from googlealert.com. Of course, this is not Google. And then as you can see, where it's going to support at googlealert.com. So that means this person has created a domain with Google Alert to confuse people to think that it's actually coming from Google, that, oh, we are performing an upgrade or something. Now, by the time you look at the message you are sent here, please check the link to the company's new website, www.secpop.lsc. If you overhaul now, one of the things you need to do is that when you get a link like this, you try and over on the link. When you over on the link, it will actually show you the real destination, where it is actually going to. So you see that these guys as, just using hyperlink, kind of hyperlink and then spoofing to do this little thing here. This is the real address where it's actually going to. It says, you see that it's not going to the website that the person is actually leading you to. So those are the things we should look out for. Then, what are some phishing tricks today? So just for us to examine together, let's assume that, so we have a bank now, the name of the bank is dclmbank.com. Now, what are some ways that attackers can, mimic this entity? So we see that there are different ways they can do homograph. Now, this is actually dclrnbank.com. So that means they have registered another domain called dclrnbank.com. But somebody that is not careful, RN is actually looking like M. And if you see this on your web address, you will think that, it's actually DCLM, but you need to pay a close attention to it before you can be able to know, oh wow, this is actually RN. It's not M. So you get, so also character repeat. So a way to verify these things is just like you look closely, we should not just assume that, that trust that we have generally, that tendency to trust, try verify, look at that link. Is it really going to where he's saying it's going to? And even at that, you can still be compromised. Like from the next slide I'll be showing us now. I don't know, can somebody answer, is this the real Apple's website? This is actually showing with https www.apple.com. Is this the real Apple website? I mean, can somebody help with that? Apple users. Is this the real Apple website? Of course, it's showing www.apple.com, but it is not apple.com. It is not the real Apple's website. This is actually an example of the homograph that I told us about in the last slide. So these APPLE they are not actually the normal alphabet. So because of the ways browsers translate URL, so these were actually written in Unicode characters. So the real address, let me see if I can pick it up. Let me see if I can pick that up. So the real address is actually something like this, www dot, this is what actually translated to that, to www.apple.com. So you can imagine, we are into something. So how can you mitigate? So actually, browsers nowadays would not allow this any longer, because there have been updates. So, but if you're still using old versions of Chrome, old versions of Mozilla and the likes, you may still fall victim of this kind of things. So the next one is smishing. Smishing, very similar to phishing, but it just the means now that is different. So they send SMS to you. It's usually delivered, using SMS. So you get SMS on your phone that, oh, you've won something, or maybe you've won a package, or and come to think of it, next month November is Black Friday, so we should expect more of these things. That, oh, this also company is giving out discount and all of that. So you must be careful. And generally, as a general caution, most of these bad guys actually use what you call the URL shorteners as a common practice. So you get something like bit.ly, so that you won't really pay attention to where it's actually going to. But like I said earlier, try and verify. If you're on a mobile phone, before you click that link, try and hold the link, like hold it for a long time, so that the destination address, maybe you can hold it for 3 seconds or 4 seconds, depending on the technique, how your phone operates. So that will reveal the destination address. So phishing, a common one also is when you get a phone call. I mean, I've been in banks where, I think I was in GT Bank someday, and somebody came and said, oh, they called him from, a customer care agent called him and said, we are trying to upgrade and all of these things. And that was how the man was compromised, and they defrauded him of all that he had in his account then. So that is why banks also sensitize our customers today that we will never call you or ask you something via phone. So attackers could use the email, they could use the SMS, and air vision, they could use the voice. So they are delivering it over the phone call, trying to pretend that they are your authority, trying to pretend that they are calling from, they are upgrading NIN. It could be anything, just trying to pretend to be something that they are not. So number one thing is, don't trust the other person that you are speaking to. We're still going to explore some of these things shortly before we go. Now, common phishing methods today with the advent of AI is, so we have the likes of the deep fakes, the deep fakes, deep images, and all of these things today. So it's very easy to create, you know, to create voice calls to sound like somebody. I mean, the way I'm talking now, maybe if somebody record my voice and train it using an AI, there are platforms that can help you with these things. And then when the person say any other thing, you will be hearing it as if I'm the one talking, but I'm not the one talking. So AI has really assisted some of these things today, which is why we must also be at the top of the game. So the next one here is phishing, what we call the QR phishing. As a common practice today, we see that many people, technology has advanced. We don't want to type again. We just want to scan the QR code and then register and do what we want to do fast. And but then we see that it is actually very easy to exploit a QR code, because I can just like this, the link to this meeting today was not published until maybe like 30 minutes before the program starts. The reason is that people could just create another flyer. An attacker can just create another flyer, put a new QR code there, and then be harvesting people's credentials, and you will not know. Nobody will know. So using this, so very easy to do. We're going to just do a quick demonstration on some of these things before we round up. Catfishing, yeah, catfishing. This is also another method, another technique. So today, where everybody want to network, everybody want to connect, you want to increase your network. So people don't really care about who the other person is, who you are connecting with. And today, we see that there are several fake social network accounts. You go to LinkedIn, you see a lot of CEOs, a lot of MDs, a lot of CISODs, CIA here, CEO here. So, but then you can't really verify. You don't know who is who. Then you just see one. So people create some of these fake social network accounts, to contact people and to generate relationship. And at the end of the day, they exploit that relationship. So we see here some AI assisted castrating tactics. You see deep fakes, deep fake audios, and deep fake videos. And I think I have a quiz here. Can somebody tell me which of these face is actually a real face? And if you get it right, I think I have a prize for you at the end of this of my talk, of our conversation. Can somebody tell me which of these is actually a real face? Is it A or B? A or B? The lady or the man? Which of these is a real face? Anybody?
Is
Ah,
I think A.
you think A? Okay.
Yeah.
Any other person? Or you can drop it in the chat box. Actually, Mr. Olani should please help me. Marvelous. Please help me pick the responses. So you can just drop it whether A or B is the real face. And then so 3, 2, 1, 0, 5. Okay, let me do 5 seconds. So I'll take it up later, and then I'll just pick like maybe the first 3, and they'll get their prizes. So actually, none of this is actually a real person. A or B, they are not real persons. So these are AI generated images. I generated these images with AI. Now you can imagine if we see somebody acting to be a CEO of a company, and I can generate a black person. So, unlike the usual, I'm sure maybe because I said AI, you were expecting it to be AI, to have that AI look. But AI has gone beyond that kind of thing. So these entities, these people do not exist actually. None of them exist. AI generated that. So what are some of the recommendations I have today? So number one, we should use our instinct, what I call the common sense. Caution is always the best defense in cybersecurity. To escape social engineering, caution is the best defense. Number two, verify. When you type any information, you must keep in mind that you no longer have control. Many things you share, or even just registering online or just doing things, you must ensure you should know that as long as you send it out there, you no longer have control over what you share. Then on social network, before accepting someone as a contact, we're all trying to grow our LinkedIn. We're all trying to look for jobs. We're all trying to find ends means. Yeah, economy, yeah, everything, things are tight, trying to make, but then, it's just on some of the time I'm even thinking like, so some of those applications that I've sent, I don't even know whether they are even, whether it's a real person that's even sending whether I'm sending the application to a real person. Today, you see a lot of jobs online. You are not even, you just send CV, you don't even get any reply. You don't know anything. So before accepting someone as a contact on the social network, try to validate that. Then lastly, do not give your name or personal data when you are receiving a phone call. It's not the best practice. So what you can do, always verify, validate, do out of band verification. So if the person is communicating with you, maybe via WhatsApp, you don't know if the person's account has been hacked. So, do out of band verification, like take that person out of that frequency, do a phone call. Don't call the person on WhatsApp. Try outside and then call the number, or maybe, you know, or you could look it up online, check Google for the real customer care, support email, and these are some of the checks you can do. Then lastly, do not visit unverified links. And if you suspect a file or you've gotten a link that you don't know how to go about it, you are skeptical on what to do, you can just visit this link, www.virus2town. It's actually a threat intelligence platform. Visit the link, paste that URL there, and then it will give you an analysis using various antivirus engines. And there are several cyber threat intelligence platforms that you can use, but Virus2town still, does this a little good. Then number two, here also verify the HTTPS, though this does not really apply. If I want to do this, this is very easy. So HTTPS today is not like a thing again. I can buy a domain. It depends on what I want to do. If I want to get you hacked, as an attacker, I can go the extra mile to ensure that I get the work done. Then enable multi-factor authentication. If the software has made provision for that, try your WhatsApp, do all those level of securities that have been made provision for. Do everything. And then lastly, before I round up, caution is always the best defense. So before you act, before you click, before you trust, first stop, think about it. This thing I'm going to do, who is actually receiving this thing? Who is getting this thing at the back end? Then you think about it. Then even after you've thought about it, you try and validate and see what is wrong. Then before I close up, I don't know whether I still have a few minutes. The moderator, Naomi, how many minutes do I
Yeah.
have? I want to do a short demonstration.
I was waiting for you to round up.
Actually, I was waiting to do. I have a demonstration for the. Can I get 5 minutes?
Can that work in 2 minutes?
Okay, fine, perfect.
Right, thank you.
So let me just drop something. Let me just see what can I come up with. I hope you can see my screen. So, it's 2 minutes. So, all right. So, yeah. Let me take this up. So we're just going to do a kind of practice and see what is obtainable. Yeah. All right. So I think I can stop this slide. Okay. So let me pull up so these are some of the things. So depending on what we want to play with. So let me go with which one? Let me go with Apple. Yeah, Apple. Oh, let me go with Twitter 16. Let's go with Twitter 16. No, I don't want OTP. No. Okay. Just for demonstration, and let's see what's obtainable. 1 more minute, this will come up. Okay. So 1 minute. It's establishing my tunnel. All right, so that I can get something like a response when you click the link. So yeah, it's ready. Okay. So I've been able to, so if I drop this link now on the platform, you can also try and, yeah. And let me see if I can drop it. Where's the chat? Okay. So As an attacker, so I can just send this. So, of course, me sending this now to the chat, so you can just click, but then I know some people may be afraid to click. Let me just click my thing from here.
I was about to say
So
that.
let me, yeah. So, yeah. So I can just, you can see the way it's looking, log into Twitter. Okay, it's looking like the whole Twitter. Not very cool. But somebody who's not very careful, we think this is actually going to Twitter. Let me say it's not a real thing. And then let me just put password. You can also try it out from there. Let me put TCLM and then try to log in. No. So you can see that it's taking you to Twitter, like taking like it's Twitter, you're like you forgot your password. No, I didn't forget my password too. But then in the back end here, me as the attacker, I already have your details. I have your profile already, Twitter username, and then the password that you inputted, DCML. So you can see how these attackers can, try to use a lot of tools which there are tools out there. So if I want to mimic, let me say, CUDA, anything, I can take my time to develop something that will work for that purpose. So yeah, you may be looking at it that, oh, the link is quite, so with the help of some of these URL shortener, where is it? I think I saw one just now. 1 minute, scroll around of 1 minute. Sorry, Naomi. Okay, yeah. So with this URL shortener, I can just shorten the URL, send it out to you, send that to people via SMS or something, or send it through email. So just small, shorten it. So
Make it look exactly like Twitter.
I get the, yeah. So, oh, this thing. Oh, bridges. Where are bridges here? 1, 2, 3. Can I see any bridge? Yeah, okay. Very far. Hope I didn't miss anyone. Okay, so that's just it. So yeah, so I have it here, I have the URL. Now you can see I have a QR code I can send to people if that can embed in links and all that. So these things are actually quite easy to create, and then so it's not a rocket science to actually hack people. So thank you for having me tonight. I know we've had a great session together, and I've enjoyed myself too. So remember, caution is always the best defense. Before you click that link, stop, think before you act. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr.
All
Sheikh.
right.
That was very interesting.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I can take if there's
Mr.
questions.
Ashley, thank you so much for this insightful session.
Yeah, sorry, please. I didn't get that.
I said thank you so much for this insightful session.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Let me see. Let me see. Did anybody get my question? Oh, nobody. Oh, nobody. Sorry. Sorry, nobody. Okay. Nobody. Okay. Oh, sorry. Maybe we'll get somebody to get the next question from the presenter, from the next presenter. All right. So over to you, Naomi. Thank you.